the Data Viper. This is a hot mess of a figure. For lack of a better word, he is a fucking huge hot mess. Oh man, I'm dropping shit in the background. Anyway, where do I start? Number one, he can't actually stand on his stand. You know, very few figures in the Retaliation line came with stands, and when they did, it was these blank ones, you know. There's something different about the deepness of the peg in his foot, the hole in his foot, so that you can't hardly get him on the peg. It goes about that far, which is not far enough for you to stand him up. So I had to use a McFarlane stand because the peg itself is wide enough that when I force it, it kind of holds, and if I point his foot, it looks like he's standing on the, you know, on the stand. On top of that, jeez, fucking up. Okay, on top of that, throw in the fact that he's extremely top heavy because he's got all this shit on the top. You know what I mean? Like, look at all that. All this on the top. Nothing on his legs, you know, nothing supporting his... Nothing on his legs, you know, nothing at all supporting his legs. So, you know, even though he's a little bit bigger than your standard Joes, there's no way to support all that extra weight. And his legs are really slack, and I mean, he's just a mess, like I said. It kind of sucks because, you know, you want to like your Joes, you know what I'm saying, or your Cobras. Like I have more Cobras than I have Joes because I feel like that's the way it should be. The Joes should be outnumbered, and they should be, you know, kind of outgunned, or, you know, not outclassed, but outgunned as far as, you know, various types. Good God, why is everything screwing up right now? Shit. But, I don't know. This figure, I don't know. So first of all, I was always wondering why he's called a Data Viper with all these missiles and stuff. I don't know if these are supposed to be lights, but they look like missiles. They're rotatable. You see they kind of rotate. Actually, they're on a ball socket. So you can aim them in any direction. So if you want to aim them up, you can aim them up. So, you know, he's the Data Viper, and he's that armed to the teeth. I guess they said that they jam signals and shit like that. That's why he's got the radar dish right there, and this huge antenna that you see in his back right here. It's a cool idea. It doesn't suck, you know, just from a design standpoint. All that sucks is the fact that they didn't balance out the design and the weight distribution of all of this shit that he has by putting something, you know, coming down onto his torso or maybe even onto his legs to help balance the figure. He comes with the same drone with the shotguns that Duke had, and this actually can peg onto his back along with all the other shit that's on his back, which I just don't see why I would do that. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it would look okay, but look at how much trouble I'm having just standing him up. And, okay, so there we go. You know, and I actually play with my figures, so shouldn't be an issue. So here's the peg. And that's the other thing. All this armor on top does not peg into his body anywhere. So you're just putting shit to rest on his body, and that's it. So that's everything that he came with, except for the shotguns. He came with two of these. They're identical to the ones that Duke had with the two pegs, because you put these pegs on the tiny little wings for the drone, which I think is kind of a dumb idea, because if the drone is this small, then the kickback, and I know I'm being a dork, but I mean, a shotgun is a powerful weapon. So if you had a paper airplane and then you put a super soaker on it, not only would the super soaker kind of prevent the not only would the super soaker prevent the paper airplane from flying, but if it did fly, just, you know, under the crazy, you know, chance that it flew, if it flew, the once it's shot, once the super soaker shot, this thing's going down backwards, away from wherever you sent it. You know what I'm saying? Because of all that force from the water. So just imagine that with a shotgun. That just looks stupid. And this is what I'm talking about when I say you never do, as a designer, you never just do shit because it's cool or because it looks cool. Because, I mean, that looks cool. It's like the freaking Blackbird on steroids. That's what it reminds me of, with these two big ass shotguns and stuff, you know? But I don't know, it's just a dumb design. You can remove, like I said, all of this gear. Take the helmet off, which is kind of weird, and there you go. You can take these out of his hands. He's just holding them over here. They actually have joints on the sides. I don't understand what for, but they're there. It just, once again, it just is, you know? You've seen this body before. It was used with the 3-pack from Retaliation, what was Airborne, and yeah, man, it's just weird. As far as variety goes, it's nice to have a different Cobra Trooper or Cobra Soldier, whatever you want to call him, you know. But as far as ingenuity goes, it's a shitty figure. You know what I mean? I'm so happy that I paid $5. Now, initially, I was going to, and I'm probably still going to do it. I'm still shooting images for my shorts. You know, I've been working on these shorts forever. So, you know, with a baby and all the other shit that's going on, it's been slower. But he's going to show up as a boss. I don't know how much of the Data Viper idea I'm going to use, but all that heavy armor, I might... That's what I'm using him for, more so than, you know, the tech person. I bought 2 of them, but I don't think I'm going to open this second one. So if someone wants that Data Viper, hit me up, let me know. Maybe we can trade or something. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll make up a contest. I don't know. I don't have the patience or the time for a lot of contests, so maybe a trade would be simpler. But yeah, I can't... If you really like Retaliation and you really like G.I. Joe and you really like just about anything, and my reviews don't make a difference when I point out these very distinct, specific logical differences and problems with some of these figures, then by all means, buy the figure. You know what I mean? It's a win-win for you kind of people. You know what I'm saying? If you are a customizer and you don't even give a shit that he came with all this and you just see parts on here that you want to use for something else, then it's a win-win. But if you collect figures because you want that figure, you want him to serve the distinct purpose that the character was created to, you know, to serve, then this figure is like a fail. I mean, he's hard to play with. The parts fall off easily. Nothing secures on except for what's on his arms. And even that, at those hinges where I showed you that the little arm shields kind of bend, they come apart real easily. You see, I didn't even do anything. They're just sitting there. There's nothing fastening them on. They just sit there kind of like so. And, shit, I didn't even get that on right. Like this. Get on there. See what I mean? Like, oh, and that's the other thing. The hinge for this to sit on is the hinge that it's this. So when you're pressing against that side, I'll hold it up. When you press against this side, it's pushing this out. You see what I'm saying? So, I don't know. All in all, it's just cheaply made. I don't personally recommend it. If you're a customizer, maybe it's a good thing. If you're creative and you can repurpose this guy and repurpose his parts or something, then maybe he would make a good pilot, because it's a pilot, you know, slash Halo diver or Halo jumper, I'm sorry, uniform that he's wearing. So, you know, you could find another purpose for him, you know. So I don't know. That's it for me with him. This has been my review of the Retaliation Data Viper. It kind of sucks. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. There are better G.I. Joe figures out there. This is an example of what was wrong with Retaliation. It was just lack of engineering, lack of imagination, and just, you know, poorly thought out designs. You know, they were just real quick to reuse any molds that they, you know, new molds that were made, and that just, I don't know, it doesn't help in this case. So I'm done. On to the next one.